Welcome back to the SSRS training sessions. And in last session, we discussed about data sets and how to create matrix report and how to group and how to do some basic formatting stuff and all. So this is the output of the report, whatever we have designed yesterday. Now, let's say the user, if you don't want to see not applicable color in the output, how we can do that? What we have to do? If you don't want to see this not applicable color, how can we make it invisible? Or how, in other words, we call it as filtering the particular data. So how can we filter it? Where can we filter it? Let's see that now first. Okay, the requirement of the user is to see only black color information. Let's assume you want to see only black color information. Now let's modify the report in such a way that user can see only black color sales for black color products. Now you can filter that in many places. You are showing the data in this particular table, right? In this particular matrix where I am highlighting, where my mouse is pointing to. If you go to the properties, you have an option filters, you can filter it here. Means show only one product, don't show the remaining. Or you can directly filter at the data set level. If you double click on the data set, there is an option called filters. Let's discuss one by one the remaining also, the parameters, fields and options and all. But let's go in one sequence. Now we are discussing about filtering. The requirement, we are going through client requirements, how the requirements will be evaluating and how they will be adding more and more requirements. First they ask for report, we have done that, and then they ask for group report, we have done that, and then they ask for formatting, we have done that. Now they're asking, they want to see only black color products. So what we have to do, we have to filter the data. If you see the data set, okay, and if you go to the double click and go to the filters page, you can add filter part here. What is the difference between adding the filters here in the data set or in the table? Both will do the same, or will there be any difference? So most of the guys replied same. If it is same, then why we need to have it in two different places? Don't say it's the style of Microsoft. Why we need to have it in two different places? Why that option is in two different places? Why don't he give in one place? Okay, good answer. If you see, if I apply the filter here, the data will be filtered at data set level. So if it is filtered at data set level, and let's assume we have more than one table. Okay, Control C, and I'm pasting the same. So I have now two tables in my report. If I apply at the data set level, it will be common across all the tables. So if I filter only black color products here, this guy will show only black color products. Let me show you that. I'll apply a filter condition. How to add the filter condition is click on add and select what column you want to filter. Let's say color, and what is the operator? Is it equal to, like, not like, blah blah blah, different options. So here it is equal to, I'm giving black. Okay, now if I preview it, so it is filtering the data, it is pulling only black color products, and if you go to the next report, it's again the same. It is also showing the same black color products. So that is the difference. If you apply at the data set level here, the filter at the data set level, then it will be applied throughout the report. Throughout the report, wherever you are using the data set, it will have the same filter. Instead of applying the filter here, let's say I'm removing the filter here, okay, and I'm giving the filter at the first table level. The filter condition is color is equal to black. Okay, now if I execute this report, you can see the first table is having black color products, and if you see the second table, it is having full products. Why? Because this is table level. So the filter, if you are applying the filter at any particular toolbox item level or control level, like a table X or table or some other thing, report or something, that filter will be applicable only to that scope. The scope of the filter is the object for which you are defining. If you define the filter at the report dataset level, then it will be applicable throughout the report wherever you are using the dataset. Okay. Now let me remove this filtering part from here. For now, let's discuss about having the filters in the dataset level. So as per the client requirement, I'm adding the filter condition where color is equal to black, and I'm selecting the field expression, that is color is equal to black, and you can see it is returning only black color products. Right? So this is what client asked for, and you have generated the report, and you can see the print preview. It is coming in one page. This is pretty good now. So if you submit this report, what client will ask for? So I got so many answers, but the major problem here is if you provide like this, let's say you have provided a black color product. So the client today, he want to see black. Tomorrow you want to see blue. What you will do? You will again open the report. You will go to the data set, and you will filter. You will go to the filters part, and you will select blue and click on OK and generate the report. And if you are not available, and if client asks you to provide some other color, like not applicable or yellow or something, so will you guide him over the phone saying that, sir, go there, double click on that data set, and if you find the filters page, sir, not there, sir, double click on the data set, sir. It will be the case. Will you do that? So they are not gonna, this is not permanent that they are gonna see only black color products, or this is not permanent that they are gonna see only blue color products. So the power of selecting the color that they want to see should be in their hands. The dynamic filter, the filter should be dynamic. The filters, the power of selecting or filtering the data should be in the hands of the clients or the users who is using the report, right? Obviously, correct? Now let's see how we can provide it. We can provide that option to the users using the property parameters. So parameters will give power to the users. From here onwards, follow it very carefully. It's very important. Okay. So parameters will give power to the users to select whatever they want, to filter whatever they want. Okay. Now this is the parameters. How to add a parameter? Just right click on add parameter, and you have to give some name to identify it uniquely. So I like to give like this, param color. Param means parameter, and color says I'm giving this parameter is for color. And prompt means how it has to show in the report. It has to show, right, something like select color or something. You have to give some text for giving some information. Okay, there is a parameter and this is for colors. User should know that. I'll show you where this one will be shown, select color, and leave the remaining as is. Click on OK, and if you execute the report, select color, you can see that this is called prompting. Okay, with what name it has to prompt, with select color I have given, and you can see it is giving me select text box where user can select the color whatever they want, whatever. Let's say he is selecting black and click on view. What will happen? It is returning blue. The user has selected black, but it is returning blue. Why? So I have set some dataset level filtering, right? So let me remove that. As Kranti said, I have set some dataset level filtering. So let me remove this, and now let me go to the report. I selected black and click on view report, and now it will show all the colors, but not the black color. Why? Because you have provided an option to the user to select a black color, to enter something here, but you have not written the functionality to pull only black color products. Did you ever mention that, okay, get only black color products, or whatever the user selects here, get their products? Did you ever mention that? So somewhere you have to link it, right? Somewhere you have to link them. In SSRS, we have two types of parameters. One is report parameters and another one is query parameters. Okay. Let's say this is your query parameter and this is your report parameter. Okay. Once the report parameter is created and query parameter is created, you have to link these two. Okay. To this query parameter, I am passing value through this report parameter. And this report parameter is nothing but whatever you create here at this point. I'll show you an example for report parameter and query parameter. The report parameter is nothing but whatever the parameter that is shown in the report. And whatever the parameter that you have created here is a report parameter. Now what you have done, you have created a report parameter. That's it. You have not done anything else. Now you have to map this query. You have to map this value. You have to pass this value to the query to filter it. Right? Let me show you how to filter in the parameters. So to filter it, what is the best way? If you have this query and if you go to SQL Server Management Studio, let me connect to that. Do not recover. Connect. AdventureWorks DW. And this is the query. And it is returning all the products. And if you want to show only black color products, what you will do? So what you will do is, if you use group by, it will say don't have brain. Where condition is the one which you use to filter the records, where color is equal to black. If I execute it, and it will filter only black color products. If I want blue, I have to give blue, right? So I have to give where condition to filter the data. And let's say I don't care from where it is coming, but the key point that you have to understand here is to filter the data using parameters, you need to have a where condition. So where I can have the where condition, let me increase the size so that it will be clearly visible to you guys, the query. So this is the query, and I'm giving, I'm going to end, okay, where color is equal to black. Okay, I've given a where condition in my query, and if I click on OK, and if I go to the preview, and if I select black, what will happen? It will show only black color products. And what happens if I give blue? Now I've given blue, what will happen? If I give blue also, it will show only black. Why? Because I have filtered, I have added a where condition. This is hard-coded value. If you see, this cannot be hard-coded. I just hard-coded it. In where condition, I am not passing a dynamic value. So the where I have given, if you see, it is just hard-coded to black color. So whatever the user passes, there is no bridge between, there is no link between whatever the value that the user is passing and whatever the value that query is taking. So you have to add a parameter here, and I'll name it as color. So this parameter, whatever you are using, whatever you are creating using @ in your query, we call it as query parameter. This is query parameter, and this is report parameter. Try to understand. The report parameter is the one which provides an option to the user to select, and query parameter is the one which passes value to your database. Right? Now, what is the next step we have to do? We have to link these two. If I define one query parameter, then I have to get some values to this, right? And this value should be whatever the value that user selects. Correct? This means here, it means that the query, the SSRS report is passing a dynamic value to the column color. Right? This @color means it's a parameter, query parameter, and the query parameter means don't expect a static value and don't, I mean, you will be getting the values dynamically. And this data set, this report level parameter, whatever I'm highlighting it is param color. It is report level parameter. What it will do is report parameter. What report parameter will do is it will give an option to the user to enter whatever the value they want, or to pick whatever the value they want to see. Now, user selected whatever he wants here, right? User will select whatever he wants using this, and your database server will be waiting for a value for this, right? How can you tag these two? If you don't tag these two, it won't work. Correct? You have to map these two, or you have to link these two. The values that are dynamic here should be the values whatever the user passes here. Now there is a place where you can, now let's see how we can link these two. There is an option where once you create a query, okay, once you create a query and adds a parameter, query parameter, I've added a query parameter here @color, and then you can find the option parameters here. If you go to the parameters page, the query parameter will be selected. Okay, there is one parameter in the query, and please pass the value for that. If you don't pass the value, then I can't execute it. I can't take it. I mean, I cannot provide output to you. It needs some value. From where I can get that value? That is what it means. So the value will be coming from whatever if you select this parameter color, whatever the user selects. Whatever the user selects in this parameter will be coming to this here, and it will be assigned to this color, and this value will be used in the query. You have seen the query, right? And that query will be sent to the server and fetch the data. So if you pass the value into the query parameter, let me take different color pen. Okay, this is fine. Let me take the pen. If you pass the value to this parameter, and if you don't pass the value to the query, how the query will understand whatever you have selected there? There will be hundreds of parameters. Which one needs to be set to the color? Which one needs to be set to the some other column? You have to specify it, right? You agree to that? Let's say you have parameter color one parameter, and parameter category one parameter, parameter Rupesh one parameter, parameter Lokesh one parameter. You have so many parameters like that. Let's say 10 to 15 parameters are there, and you have where color is equal to @color, and where category is equal to @category, and something is equal to Rupesh is equal to @Rupesh. You have so many query parameters. You need to map between these two. If you don't map, which value need to be passed to which parameter? It can't understand, right? The server can't dynamically, automatically take it. It don't have that much intelligence. So whatever the parameter, so I have to map which parameter value that user is passing to be selected to be passed to which parameter here in the query, which column. It has to be compared with which column. Now we have only one parameter here. I'll make it in a better way. I have only one parameter here. I'll add one more parameter. Let me erase all the drawings. Let me take this out, and I'm adding. Let me try to add it. I have added 4 parameters, and now in my data set, okay, in my query, I'm going. I'm giving a condition where color is equal to @color. Okay, these two are fine. Now let me remove this guy. Now, when the user executes the report, he will see 4 text boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 for each one, right? So when you see 4 text boxes, and if we enter black color in the third one, how it will be assigned to the query parameter? How the query will understand from where it has to take the value? Is there any way that query can understand blindly, automatically? So there should be some mapping. Okay, whatever the value that user has passed to the color, map it to the parameter, query parameter. Whatever the value that user has passed to the report parameter one, set it to some other. So you have to specify that condition, that mapping we are giving in the parameter space. If you see, this is color in the query parameter, and from this all these bullshit item 4 parameters, which one needs to be picked? You have to specify it. If I select this guy and if I click on OK and if I go to the report and if I give black color here, it won't work. Why? Because I have mapped report parameter 2 to that. If I pass black here, then only it will work. I'll give some all nonsense values for the remaining parameters. And if I execute it, it is not filtering based on black. I have passed black to the color, but it is not filtering. Why? Because I have mapped to report parameter 2, I think. Now it will filter. Why? Because the mapping is there. There will be hundreds of parameters in your report. You have to specify, you have to map the query parameter. Okay, there is a query which has a parameter. That parameter should get value from somewhere. What is that parameter, report parameter that you have to select? So this is how you can, this is why you have to map it. Now this is fine, you have more than one, that's why you can easily understand. But even in if you have one report, you need to map it. Blindly it can't take. The server can't decide, even though this name is different, and this name whatever you are giving is different. This is color. Even same name you have specified for the parameter here and the parameter in the query. It's your job to come here to unmap these two. If you don't map, it won't take. Now I have mapped it. If I give black, it will give black color products. If I give blue, it will give blue color. If I give yellow, not applicable, you will get not applicable colors if there are any. And yellow. And what will happen if I give GRIN, green, wrong spelling? It will go and check, it will go and search for green color, where color is equal to green. It's not available, so it will not return anything. If I give green, no data for this. And red, I think we have products for red. If I give red, so if I provide this particular option to the user, he can play with this. He can provide whatever the information he is looking for, right? Whatever the information he wants to see, he can provide. Whatever the color data he wants to see. Let's say he is interested in black color products. He will select black and he will get the data and he will analyze it. Okay, black color products. I am the manager for the black color products. So black color products are doing good. I am happy. The same report, the other guy will be used. Let's say who is managing blue color products. He will check the report. Okay, my report, this is fine. But there are a couple of products which are not performing well like this. So we have to improve something here. Now, what is the next immediate thing client will look for? What is the next immediate thing? Is it multiple colors or what he will look for? More combinations, and what else? Maybe multiple colors is nothing but more combinations. So let's say this is fine, you have given it for color, and if you don't know which color products are available, if he gives green and it is not returning data, and if it gives white and it is returning some data, let's say some other color, navy blue, if you ask him to provide the colors, he will try with different colors, right? If you don't know what are all the values that are present, then it will be difficult for him to analyze it. It will be difficult. He will be trying, right? He will be trying with navy blue, not there. Then he will check for sky blue. It will not be there. And he will check for, as I said, gold color. It will not be there. So it will be always better if you can provide the list of columns that are available. So how can you provide the list of columns? the list of columns can be provided using available values here. Available values, by default it is set to none. Okay, that means no available values. And if you want to specify any value, you can specify here by using this. Okay, click on add, and you have two options, two columns here. One is label and another one is value. Value is the one which will be used for querying purpose, and label is the one which will be used for display purpose. I'll show you the difference. I'm giving black and I'm giving black, and I'm adding one more blue, blue, and I'm adding one more yellow, yellow, and not applicable color is there, not applicable. Value is also not applicable. And what is the other one that is available? White is there, white is there. So if you see the value field, whatever I'm giving here will be the one that will be sent to the query. So if I give wrong spelling, let's say instead of black, if I give BLAC, okay, click on OK. Now if I click on preview, you can see everything it is showing. The options is showing to the user so that he can select. So if I select black and if I click on view report, the black value, whatever you select, will not be sent to the query. Whatever the value that you have given will be sent to the query. I have given wrong spelling, that's why it is not showing. And if I give blue, it will be shown. Blue, I have given correct spelling, the blue will be sent and it will return the data. And yellow, it is I have given correct value. So if you, I think now you understood what is the value part here. The value part is the one what it will be sent to the query. Okay, the label part is the one that is display, that is used for display purpose. Let's say I have given black color instead of just black, I have given black color. In the same way, I have given color for this. So while displaying to the user, I am showing black plus the color name plus color. But while querying, if I pass black color, it will not return any value. Why? Because in the database you have a value like blue or black, not black color or blue color. Understood? So this is used for querying purpose and this is used for display purpose. It is not case sensitive for SQL Server at least. Now let me go to here, and if you see, it is showing black color, blue color, yellow color, not applicable color, and white color. And if I select black color, it won't pass black color value to the query. It will send only black to the query. If it sends black to the query, it will get the values and it will be displayed. So now we have provided the options that is available for the user. So what we can do? I mean, is it fine? Or what else he will ask for? What is the next immediate thing? What is missing here in these particular parameters? If you observe, we have given 5 colors here. Why? Because today I have only 6 colors or 5 colors information. Tomorrow, if gold color is included, what I have to do? Again, I have to come to the report and add it, right? I have to come here, go to the parameter, go to the available values, go here and select gold color and select the value, whatever the value that is present in the database, right? This is a hectic job. After 10 days, again one more color product is introduced. Then again I have to come here and I have to enter it. And one more challenge here is, if you give any spelling mistake for the values, then it will go for a toss. Right? If there is any spelling mistake, then it will go for a toss. So then instead of that, instead of giving the colors manually, you can use the colors option, to pull it from database, dataset, dynamic reading from the dataset. If you see get values from a query, let me show you how to. If I want to show the values from a query, first of all, I need to have the values handy, correct? I need to have the values handy. How can I get the values handy? Select color from dim product. This guy will give me all the colors, right? If you see whatever the colors that products are coming in, all the colors will be here in this. So if I copy this query and if I create a new data set, I'm creating one more data set with the name color DS. This is especially for color. So paste it, click on OK. Now this data set is having the values of all the colors of all the products. Now if I go to the available values, I can remove all these things, okay? And instead of that, I can go to the values from a query. I'm getting the values from a query for this parameter. So from which data set is having the values? The data set that is having the values is color DS and value field is color, and the label field I'm going to show the same. Click on OK. If you go to the preview, it shows fine, but it is getting all the values that are present. So the color, how many products are there, that many times the color is getting. So how can you avoid that? By using distinct. If you go for distinct, why you need to repeat the color name again and again and again? You can go for distinct keyword so that you will get only the available colors in the database. The two distinct values, right? You don't need to have all the values repeated again and again. So you can go for distinct values. So here in this query, if you set to distinct, it will show only the distinct values that are available in the database, and user can select whatever he selects. There will be at least one product with sales for. If you see this is black color product and we have silver, let me select silver color products. It will show the data for silver color product. So if you observe from nothing to we have reached to a stage where it is helpful to the user. It gives the required information to the user, right? So what I have done to get the values dynamically into this parameter is just I created one more data set and I have given reference, not reference. Reference means it's like available values. It's like I'm telling get the values for this particular parameter from a data set. And this is the data set name, and this is the value field, and this is the label field. And you know very well what is the value field and label field. I already explained it. Now, what will be the next requirement? If I have provided this report, will the users be happy with this? What they may ask for? So user may ask for multiple colors. Man, how many years I have to see how I want to compare with multiple colors. If I want to compare with between white and black, how I can see that? So I can select any one color here. So here now I have to provide an option for selecting the multiple colors. So for making it available, for making the option, for making the parameter to provide an option to the user to select multiple values, you just need to select this allow multiple values text box. If you select this, then it will provide an option to the user to select multiple values. Damn easy, right? So now what will happen if I select black and blue and gray? Will it return all the three or only first one or nothing? What I will say is it will return error. An error occurred during so and so. Not mapped, we mapped it, man. We mapped at the red color to this parameter. Mapping is perfect. But why we are getting the error? Try to understand this. What is the error it is showing? Query execution failed for data set. That means there is some problem with the query. Must declare a scalar variable at the red color. What it means? So if you observe, this is the query, right? The query is like this. Agree, if you remember it, at the red color, right? So when I select black, it was black. When I select blue, it was blue. When I select yellow, it was yellow, right? And now, okay, let me try selecting only one. What will happen? If I select only one, let's say black color, what will happen? It returns the data. Now can you find out what's the problem? The values, if I select more than one, it will be black, comma, blue, comma, yellow. It will be like this. So when you have more than one values, I'll tell you how it looks. It comes like this with a comma separator. When you have more than one value, what operator you have to use? While you have more than one value, you have to go for in operator like this. So now it is returning the data. So what I have done, I have added in operator, and in operator will work fine even for single value. Let's say I have only one single value selected, it will return the data. Okay. So the problem is with the in operator. I have given equal to, that means equal to will take only single value and it works only for single value, but I am passing multiple values. So what I have to do is I have to make it as in operator and the value should be in parentheses. So now where color in brackets, done. Let me execute it. Now I have, let me select more than one, gray, click on view report and it will return the values that are present. The gray is not having value, that's why it is not returning any data. Multi and not applicable, I am selecting 4 or 5 and it will return the result for all the products that are having data, for all the products and colors. Now hope you understood. Any questions like how to set that in operator and why we are setting the in operator? People with basic SQL knowledge should get that. Okay, I am scrolling down and you can see the report. There is data here and it will go to the next page also. There is some data here. What's your query, Divya? Okay, you want to see the second report? Yeah, here it is. The second report also will get the correct data. Now what I have done is, it was equal to operator. It should not be equal to if you are passing more than one value. So I have made it as in operator and in condition will always come with parentheses. This value will be in parentheses. Okay, and you will work only for with the in operator. Going for single value parameters is very rare condition. Okay, now this is about how to add a simple parameter and how to get the values from the database and how to the parameter and how to make single values and how to make multiple values, and similarly what is query parameters and what is report parameters, and also the mapping between query parameters and the report parameters. The color data set, whatever you have created, is used in loading the available values to the report. Sorry, to the parameter. This parameter is getting values from the color data set. And you can see specify values from a query, and I have selected the color data set. This color data set values is dynamic. That is coming from the query, and the data set, this is I created just for this. I think this answers your question, Samyukta. Okay. Now let's see the remaining options in the parameters. Allow blank value. If you don't want to pass any value, then you can provide blank. If it is blank, you can pass blank value. If it is text box or something like that. And allow null value means it will allow null, is null operator. If it is null value, it will. These two are rare cases. Forget it. Or at least until you get good grip on what is null, how to check null value. This is covered in SQL Server training videos. You just go through that. If you go for blank is equal to blank will be the check, and if it is null it will be is null. So that is the difference between the blank and null here. And if you want to hide it, then you can hide it. Okay. Internal means passing the value from the different third-party application. We'll discuss about it in advanced concept when we discuss about the advanced concepts. And available values, you have discussed all the three options. Now if the user wants to set some default value, when the report opens automatically some default value should be set, then he can select it. Again, he can either select it from the values, by passing a value here like black. I'm selecting black, so whenever the user opens the report, it will select the black and generate the report. It was not like this earlier, right? Now I set the default value. Default value means what is the value that you want to show or select by default whenever the user clicks on preview or whenever the user opens the report. Now I've given two, black and blue, and these two are selected. And what if I want to select all the colors? Go to the default values, remove these two, get the values from the query, and select the same data set name and select the same column. Whatever the values that are getting to assign the values, we are using the same data set and same column to set the default value. So all the values will be selected by default and the report will be generated for all the values. So this is how you can go for parameters, multi-value parameters, and we have discussed almost all the properties, important properties. So what I'll suggest is you guys just go through the video and practice it, and if you can create some, there is a lot more to discuss about the parameters. This is a basic beginning, and we will be discussing about the parameters again on the next session. But what I'll suggest is try to create at least 50 or 100 parameters over this weekend. So why? Because without parameters, don't expect a report. There will be parameters unless there are some static or some hard-coded value reports are there. Okay. So this is very important one. That's why practice it as much as you can, and I'll share the video immediately after the session. So the next session will be on Monday. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.